Hello, this is Joe from Nerd in Korea. We are looking at budget mass bounce effects today. And so, what can we see? First of all, $2 or less on the TCG market price is how I mean, or what I mean by budget, alright? And also not a sponsor. Yeah, hey. Anyway, wire these important bouncing permanents back to their owner's hands is a very useful mechanic. It forces your opponents to use a lot of resources basically to keep redoing what they've already done, right? You can stall people out if you keep bouncing things back to their hand. They have to keep replaying them over and over and over. A board wipe is just gone and they have to start over. This is, in a way, kind of better because you actually do have to redo everything. You're not able to, you kind of end up just replaying the same turn over and over. Many times they'll also have to discard, so right, they have to take things. If they have more than 7 cards at the end of the turn, they have to discard, and that also makes them have to make a lot of difficult choices, and it fills up the graveyard anyway, so it kind of ends up being like a board wipe. Also, bounce tokens just cease to exist, right? So that's one thing. Treasure tokens in particular, I think bouncing them is great because otherwise they just end up getting the other person really far ahead, right? So that is something you can do. Okay, first up, evacuation. Return all creatures to their owner's hands. That includes yours, right? So this does hit yours as well. I still think it's pretty good because it is instant speed and it costs 5 altogether. A lot of board wipes cost 4, but yeah, this is 1 more and you can recast things. It's pretty easy to use it also. If someone is attacking you, just bounce everything. And that way, yeah, you end up being kind of farther ahead than they are because you are probably going to be able to use your whole turn to get your stuff back, where they might have used a lot of resources on their turn. So it kind of like the net is going to be for you. Also, at the end of the turn, they have to discard, right? So they might end up having to discard a bunch that they would rather not. Anyway, 30 cents. Filter out. Okay, so return all non-land, non-creature. First of all, treasure tokens, gone, right? For 3 or 2 blue and 1, you can just get rid of all the treasure tokens in the game. They're just gone, right? Especially, I think this is one thing where I've seen a lot of games where people get really far ahead with treasure tokens. You can just shut that down. Anyway, when it returns their hand, they cease to exist. But anyway, does not work on hybrid things. So again, if you have like artifact creatures or something like that, as long as they do have the creature or land keyword, same with like land creatures, would not get affected by this, right? So there's a lot of ways you can kind of manipulate this to your advantage. Anyway, 20 cents. 20 cents for that one. Very underrated, I think. Selective snare. So this is one I actually posted on the budget group on Facebook, and someone got very angry at me for putting this on. But anyway, return X target creatures of the creature type of your choice to their owner's hand. So again, you're going to choose one creature type, pay mana X mana, and then choose that many creatures. You are choosing particular creatures. They have to share a creature type. But what I think is really great about this is that you can avoid someone, right? Let's say someone's got blue and a whole bunch of open mana. They probably have a counter spell, so you can use this on someone else. And your spell is going to get countered, probably. Again, if your spell gets countered, it does nothing, right? If you make it so the person has no incentive to do it, I think it is not going to get countered very easily. There's also a lot of flexibility with this one. You can potentially put your own cards back into your hand as well. And then it's after you pay the 1 blue, it's pretty much like having unsummon on anything that's the same creature type, right? So if you use this on your own things, you can get more enter the battlefield effects if possible anyway. A lot of flexibility there, and I think the real advantage is like just being able to target whatever you want, right? A board wipe is going to get countered. This very easily could avoid getting countered where a board wipe would to fail. 44 cents. Scourge of Fleets. Okay, when this enters the battlefield, return each creature your opponents control with toughness X or less, where X is equal to the number of islands you have. First of all, you want to have a good number of islands. So mono blue, or maybe a 2-color with blue. And yeah, what's really amazing with this is that you could flicker it, right? You could exile it and return to the battlefield and do it again and again and again. And basically, your opponents are going to have to keep recasting their things over and over and over. So with any kind of flicker effect, I think this is just an amazing card. It's going to basically always keep people on the back foot. They're always going to be playing catch up, and you're going to have a lot of opportunity to just go in and get free attacks. Anyway, 28 cents. 28 cents. All right, here, I'm adding this now because I always forget. Please hit like and subscribe. It does help a lot. And I was wondering, what are some of your pet cards for bouncing permanents, right? What do you like to use? Again, Unsummon I think is very, very popular, but I'm always surprised at cards I've never seen before. So, hey, maybe I'll be like, oh, I've never even heard of that, and that's like much better. Especially budget-wise, there's some really surprising ones. And our number 1 card is Washout. Return all permanents of the color of your choice to the owner's hands. Again, all permanents, okay? Creatures, planeswalkers, enchantments, artifacts, whatever that may be. Everything of that color goes back to the owner's hand. This is crazy. If someone's playing like a monocolored deck, you just shut their whole everything down, right? You bounce everything back to their hand. Also, if a creature, remember, or anything, not just a creature, if any permanent has 2 colors, like let's say it's red and black, an artifact with red and black, if you say red, that still gets sent back, right? It has both colors. It doesn't have only one or the other or neither. It is both of them. So this can do a whole bunch of damage, and also has kind of the advantage from Selective Snare, where you're able to make sure that it doesn't get countered just by avoiding. If you see a player that probably has the counter ready, just don't target them. Don't target their colors, and you know, hey, good to go. Only 25 cents for that one. It is sorcery speed, I think is the main downside there, but it's 3 and a blue, right? 3 and a blue is really not bad. Okay, so the list. Evacuation, 30 cents. Filter out, 20 cents. Again, this is my number 1 use is getting rid of treasure tokens for this. I think this is like, kill those treasure tokens. That'll probably stop people from getting ahead more than most board wipes will. Selective Snare, very underrated. 44 cents. Scourge of Fleet, 28 cents. Combined with the flicker effect, and it's just like, that's a game winner right there. Washout, shut down those monocolored decks right away. I also like it because you do get to choose the color. It's not, a lot of cards will say like, destroy red permanents or destroy red creatures. This is just all of that color is out of the whole board. It's a global effect that affects only one color of your choice. It is actually very flexible like that. Anyway, thank you and have a great day. Take it easy, yeah.